Hey everyone, Andy here with Mossy Creek Fly Fishing. Today is Monday, February 17th, and I'll be bringing you the fishing forecast for this week. For those of you who, like me, are tired of winter and ready for spring, I've got some good news and some bad news. So we'll get the bad news out of the way. Bad news is that for the first part of this week, we're going to be back to some pretty cold temperatures. So, daytimes barely getting to 30, night times maybe getting down into the teens, but the good news is that by the end of this week, come the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, they're showing temps getting up into the 40s, nice and sunny. And then the 10-day forecast starting the following week is going to be temperatures in the 50s. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that that holds true. Looks like we could have some great fishing in the future. We've got plenty of water. For the first time in a long time, we are officially out of drought according to the charts online, and we are happy to see that. That means we're set up for a good spring. So overall, this winter's been a little tough. It's been hard to get out between storms and cold, but all of this has really stockpiled us to have a good spring, so we'll keep that in the back of our minds. Now, if you do want to get out and fish this week, there is going to be some opportunity for you. We're coming off some high water from this weekend, so some of your really big rivers like the South Fork, the Shenandoah, the James, your musky fisheries, probably going to be at least 4 or 5 days, probably till the weekend before we see those get back down into fishable conditions. But for our trout streams, our spring creeks, they're going to be fishable right now. We had folks out yesterday, folks out today. So streams like Beaver Creek, Mossy Creek, Spring Run, all of those will remain fishable. And even in those coldest of cold days, you're not going to have ice on them, so you'll be able to actually do some fishing. Now, if you get out and you're out fishing on those really cold days, remember, even on a spring creek, temperatures are still going to drop. The fish are still going to respond to that cold air, and so that means fish slow, fish something a little bit that will give the fish a little more reason to move and eat it. So something like a streamer, and maybe a dead drifted streamer. So putting something like a rubber-legged crystal bugger under an indicator can work great. Those rubber legs provide just that little bit of movement. It's not running away from the fish, so they don't have to use a tremendous amount of energy to go chase after it. For those of you who Euro nymph, putting something like a tactical jig zonker on the end of your Euro rod and bouncing bottom, just barely moving that fly, making it really easy for those fish to eat it. That's going to be some of your best techniques to use in that cold, extreme conditions if you get out and fish in that. You can also put on some nymphs and fish in nymphs that, again, have maybe a little bit of a broader profile in that higher water is going to be key to get you noticed and make it, again, worthwhile for those fish to come eat it. So, dead drifting a zertle bug or a Pat's rubber legs or a hothead pheasant tail that's jigged, maybe in a size 12 or 14, those are going to work great when you have a little bit of off-color water and need to stand out. A lot of the times in winter conditions, people get so focused on the super tiny stuff, and it's true, yes, small stuff will work, but the water conditions are going to dictate that. So if we have higher flows, you go out to Mossy and the water is a little bit higher, it's moving faster, it's a little off color, don't be afraid to size up even though we're in winter time. Now, by the weekend, we may have some conditions starting to improve, and things like our mountain streams may start fishing a little bit better, especially as we move into next week. When we have those temperatures in the 50s with sun, water temps are going to rise, bug activity is going to go up, so we may even start seeing some caddis flying around. And you can always keep an eye out for blue-winged olives and midges and get some fish on the surface, even on some moderately cold days of winter. So good news for trout fishing down the road, some opportunities to get out this week. It's getting to be that time where it's really good to start looking at your gear, make sure everything's in good working order for the spring peak conditions. You don't want to get out on March 1st and find out that your waders are leaking or your soles of your boots are coming off. So take a look at your gear, tie some flies, fill the box, come on by, pick some things up. We'd be happy to chat with you and help you break some cabin fever. If you do get out this week, let us know how you do. And we'll be back to report more next week. And hopefully we'll be talking about the nice weather that we are experiencing and have ahead. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you then.